So, if you're not currently running ads, should you be? That is the question I would like to answer in this podcast episode. So, are ads right for you? Should you have ads? Are you considering them? And are you wondering if maybe not now, maybe there's a point in the future where it might be something that you need to or should add in? So, I'm going to address that. Now, the right time to consider having ads in your marketing mix should come from a place of wanting to scale, grow, expand what you've already got. What I find is that if you've kind of got a relatively new-ish business and you're struggling to make sales, or you don't really have the conversion rate, which is the percentage of people who actually buy in. If you're in that point where you're a bit desperate and you sort of feel like you're struggling, that may not be the time to bring ads into the mix, because using paid media ads will amplify what you're getting already. So there are some exceptions to this. Say if you have received some investment capital, or you received some kind of inheritance or won some money, so you don't mind losing a bit at the start, because no matter what, running paid media ads is kind of a risk. And when you first start out, especially, you may not see any gains, any return, any growth on that investment right away. That can happen with many types of businesses, and you sort of need to be comfortable and prepared to see that money disappear and not get anything back immediately. So yeah, that is kind of an important thing to consider. So there's being comfortable and okay with that money disappearing, and there is actually a risk that you might not get anything back, but that's usually when you haven't really researched or strategized things as well as you could. The times I find money getting wasted is when, say, the research, the market research on the product hasn't been done right, and there's not as much demand as the business owner anticipated. So you're essentially advertising and trying to sell something to people that don't want it. So that's kind of where those losing money risks can come from. And the losing money risk can also come from just like negative press that maybe had nothing to do with you, but maybe your business or your product is in a category that's getting negative press in the news, and then all of a sudden nobody's buying that thing anymore. So yeah, those are some things to bear in mind. But essentially, what I recommend and what I like to see happen before, especially before someone engages me as their ads management partner, is that I like to see a healthy conversion rate on your, if you've got an e-commerce store, so an online shop that sells products, that should be 2% or more. So that's 2 out of 100 people actually making purchases. If you're more in a service-based business, I would like to see you're successfully making sales. You've got clients already, and your aim for using ads should be to sort of reach beyond the audience that you already have, and then keep adding new people into your audience, into your ecosystem. Because with some business types, you may find that you need to run ads just to get people onto your email newsletter. And getting those people onto your email newsletter, that's not getting money, that's getting people who you want to build a long-term relationship with to eventually make them customers. So again, that is something that you should keep in mind and be prepared for. So those are my recommendations. In terms of how much you should spend or how much you want to spend, because I know you're probably wondering this also. When you're engaging a partner like me, like I help my clients manage budgets that are in the multiple thousands per month. For someone listening to this, if you're sort of like a solo business operator and you're doing most of the work yourself and maybe your margins are a bit smaller, it may be more worth your while just experimenting a little bit with smaller budgets. $10 a day on Facebook is fine. On Google, I'd probably only recommend investing in that platform if your business is the sort of like service provider that goes to you. So like you're a plumber or an electrician or something like that. So yeah, the thing that I would really strongly emphasize here is measuring what you've got, because you can't grow or you can't improve what you're not measuring. And I find that I have many consultations with small business owners that don't know what their conversion rate is, that don't know what their website traffic is. And if you don't know what your conversion rate is, if you don't know where your website traffic is coming from, if you don't know the volume of people visiting your website, those are the things that we are looking to measure and grow with paid ads. And so if we don't know where we are, we have less information about how much money we should invest and then where we should go. And that is often why, if I'm taking on a new ads partner, if you've never had ads before, I really love to know what your budget is and what your goals are, what your average order value is, because all of this information helps me provide a better recommendation to you. And the less information we have about your business, how much revenue you're making, what revenue you want to make, the more murky it is for me to give you advice on paid ads. So I think that would be like the biggest, stop that would stop me from engaging with you is if you're not ready for ads, if you're not measuring the effectiveness of what you have already. So yeah, I would start with things like your website traffic, your conversion rate, measure the revenue that comes through your website, measure the percentage of people who get your lead magnet or sign up to your email newsletter. Measure and track the percentage of people who open your emails. You might think that putting ads on Facebook and emails are distant from one another, but actually they're closer than you might think. And part of a good Facebook ad strategy is growing an email list, like I mentioned earlier. So I hope this information helps you out, and I hope this helps you make a decision on whether or not you should be looking at ads right now. The biggest thing I would say is know your data. That will help you so much, and it'll especially help me because if you don't know where you want to go, if you say to me you don't know what your budget is, I'll say, well, spend $5,000 a month, and you'll go, whoa, okay, that's too much. So I want you to be prepared before you start asking people for help, because I've heard so many different perspectives. Like a lot of one of the biggest barriers for a lot of people is the expense. And if you knew the value of somebody signing up to your email newsletter, if you knew the value of a customer over their lifetime, that information helps. So yeah, I hope this discussion was useful. And if you have any questions to do with paid ads for your business, Meta or Google, Facebook or Instagram, please let me know, and I'd be excited to answer it in an upcoming episode.